How's it going, guys? It's Avi from Mother SpongeBob 1000. Today is January 4th, 2020. I almost said 2018, but we're well past that. So we're gonna have another winter weather outlook for tonight, as it's currently approximately 10:30 at night right now. So let's take a look, and nothing really major is going on. We don't really have any major snowstorms for the time being, or any major rain events as well, which is definitely good news because of Mississippi, the southeast area, had a lot of rain from a recent rainstorm that was developing that was dumping a heavy amount of rain in the Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama area. And we had localized amounts of up to 4 inches in some areas, which did cause some flooding in the Jackson, Mississippi area, where the flooding and the water went up to the bumper car, which went up to the bumpers of the cars. So that rainstorm thankfully has moved out. It won't dump any more rain, as Jackson, Mississippi had its second most rainfall in by one event in January, where it got almost a month's worth of rain in just one event, which is quite insane. But right now, the rainstorm, for the most part, has moved out of the U.S. Most of the rain is off the coast, besides these areas of rain showers that are pretty much towards the coastal mid-Atlantic region, where I'm talking about New Jersey, Delaware, the Delmarva Peninsula in general, and several portions of Virginia and Connecticut. And we're also seeing some snow mix in to where the temperature is borderline around close to the freezing mark. So we may see a wintry mix or snow showers in some areas, but I don't expect it to be anything major in the mid-Atlantic regions, and probably won't even stick onto the grass because of how warm the ground is and how quickly that area of snow showers will move out of the mid-Atlantic. So yeah, you can see there's some rain showers. It isn't dumping a heavy amount of rain. It's dumping around moderate rain, but it won't dump a heavy amount, nowhere near as we saw in the southeast region, as I expect maybe a half of inch if we're unlucky in terms of rainfall. But mainly I expect around a quarter of an inch or less, because the area of rain showers will move out relatively quickly from the area. So moving towards the future radar, you see that so this is as of approximately right now, and then if we move around an hour or two, you're gonna see that the rain showers moves out of the mid-Atlantic region quite fast, so it won't have enough time to dump a heavy amount of rain, which is good news because we do not want to see flooding, especially where the rivers at this point in time around the northeast region, especially around New Jersey where I am, are relatively high right now. So moving a little bit forward an hour or two, the rain showers begin to move out of the U.S. is probably around 2-3 hours from now. It's completely out of New Jersey by around 1 to 2 a.m. tonight, and then it's still hovering around the eastern portions of Massachusetts, around the Boston area, and we do see some snow mix in around the Connecticut area, but I don't expect any accumulation from that. And then I would say by around 6 a.m., this should be completely off the coast of New England and the mid-Atlantic states. However, there's going to be a little area of snow that could develop as this moves offshore, as it encounters more instability from the Gulf Stream that will enhance that convection, and potentially create a little bit more heavy snow bands around the main region. So we may see isolated amounts of 3 inches, but I'm mostly expecting around 1 to 3 in this area because, like I said, this system will move out relatively quickly, and the lake effect snow should kick up. But let me go over the Pacific Northwest before I go over the lake effect snow. And as for the temperatures, for the most part, it's around the 30s to 20s around the Great Lakes region, and you could kind of see the where the jet stream is based off of the temperatures, because it's 57 around Wilmington, go about 100 to 200 miles west, and you go down to the 30s. So the jet stream is right around this area. It's pretty much a border between the 40-degree marks and the 30-degree marks, and it should dump it should drop temperatures to around below average around the Great Lakes region thanks to this dip in the jet stream. However, that should only last one night, because as soon as this low pressure system moves out, the jet stream will rise with it, and thanks to the Northern American oscillation, most of the cold air will stay mainly towards Canada. So the US for the next week or so will miss out on a lot of the cold air. But anyways, let's move on to the Pacific Northwest region, and there's isolated areas of thunder showers. So keep in mind that these rain showers could dump a heavy amount of rain very quickly. It won't be a long duration, since obviously they're isolated thunder showers, but they should dump a decent amount of rain if you're caught within the isolated area. And we do see isolated snow showers in the upper portion, in the higher elevation portions of the Pacific Northwest. However, it should increase as the night goes on, as the low pressure system from the Pacific will drop closer to the Pacific Northwest and continue to dump bouts of heavy rain and snow throughout the Pacific Northwest, around Washington, around the Cascades region. So we're going to take a look at this in the future. And is as of currently right now, you see the band of thunderstorms that's just off the coast, and it's going to continue to move closer and quite quickly to the coast. So we should see heavier bouts of snow in the higher elevations that could go up to 10 inches just in the next 24 hours. So you see the snow showers are beginning to develop. They're beginning to grow larger, more powerful, more defined. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And that area of rain showers begins to combine with the isolated rain showers that were over this region to create an even bigger rain and snow event. So yeah, this is something definitely to keep in mind. And looking at the rainfall forecast for the next 24 hours, it's pretty high in this region, going up to 1 inch in the higher elevations. Combined with snow, it should create some icy conditions in the higher elevations. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. We don't want to see flooding in that area, and the tunnel and the stream of low pressure systems should continue for the next 5 days. So the snow and the rain showers will continue in the Pacific Northwest region. And the reason why is because this high pressure is far south enough to where there's weak ridging in the upper Pacific, which is allowing a lot of these low pressure systems to find its way to directly impact Oregon and Washington. If the high pressure were located a little bit more to the north, the Pacific Northwest and Oregon would remain mainly dry, because the low pressures would be forced up north and away from the Pacific Northwest. But since the high pressure is far south enough, it's making these streams of extratropical cyclones impact the Pacific Northwest. So there's one low pressure, there's another low pressure that impacts the Pacific Northwest, and another, and then soon that high pressure does move far ahead, but this is like hours from now. I don't want to go that far, but over the next 5 days, that high pressure remains mainly in the same area, just south enough to where a lot of these low pressure systems will impact the Pacific Northwest. And to get a better idea of what will go on in the U.S. over the next several days, over the next 5 to 7 days, I'm gonna get a better map which will identify the precipitation over the next 5 days. And this as of right now, it's mostly accurate. I would say there's a little bit less rain, snow showers than expected. As the GFS models, as I think the computer models miscalculated that areas, the intensity of the snowfall and rainfall. So but it's still mainly accurate to the point, mainly around the ballpark. So You see there's a dip in the jet stream like I defined in the map, as you could identify on the map where the temperatures around this area are like 60, it's around 30 in this area. So there's a stark contrast to finding that jet streams, but that jet stream will rise up because the westerly winds at this point are very strong, which is gonna pull a lot of the cold air instead of from north to south, more towards the west to east direction. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. We have a positive North American oscillation, which pretty much means that the high pressure in the Atlantic and the low pressure in the Atlantic are very strong at this point, creating stronger than usual westerly winds. And as a result of that, that cold air really is going to be pushed from east to west thanks to the strong westerly winds that's being enforced by the stronger than usual high and low pressure system in the Atlantic. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. So the cold air will mainly stay above the mainly say above the US, and that's definitely something to keep in mind for over the next several days with the forecast model. So that there's a Clipper system, but again the westerly winds are quite strong, so it won't quite make it down far south enough, but should dump a decent amount of snow, especially over lakes. It should be enhanced by the lake effect snow, so it should dump a decent amount of snow, around 3 to 5 inches. And then another Clipper system that passes by, but mainly stays far enough north to where it doesn't directly impact the mid-Atlantic cities, but it does impact the areas close to the lake. And then you could see towards the Northwest Pacific, there's just an abundance of rain, snow that's going to impact you guys. And to get a better idea of how much snow you guys are going to expect, let me find the map. Look at this area, around over 18 inches of snow. So 2 to 4 feet of snow in the higher elevations of the Pacific are certainly not out of the question. And thanks to the Clipper systems that might pass by, we could see a decent amount of snow here, maybe up to the foot over the next 5 days. So that's definitely something to keep in mind in the lake effect snow region, because the Clipper systems are not falling far south enough to where it could develop a major snowstorm in the US thanks to the positive North American oscillation, but it's jumping far south enough to where the lakes will get affected by this little by little. But anyways guys, I guess that's it for this report. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good night and a good day.